What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Dare to Compare TV, where the booth meets the hardwood and the stories run deeper than stats or streams. Today, we talk about the ones who never needed to smile to earn your respect. The ones who made toughness feel like an art form. On one side, Kenyon Martin, the #1 pick who played with a permanent snarl, a walking message that said, "You're not built for this." On the other, Beanie Sigel, the Rock's muscle, the Broad Street bully who rapped with a weight only pain could teach. Two men from two worlds, but both carved from the same block. Grit, survival, heart. They didn't just play or rap for applause. They represented something bigger, the code of where they came from. This is The Enforcers, Kenyon Martin and Beanie Sigel. Let's get into it. Before the fame, before the headlines, before the world placed them under bright lights, two young men were grinding in two different cities with two very similar fires inside them. Kenyon Martin, South Dallas. Beanie Sigel, South Philadelphia. Two places you don't survive by being soft. Two environments that don't apologize. Two proving grounds that build you before the world ever sees you. Kenyon Martin's journey starts in Saginaw, Michigan, but his life is shaped in Oak Cliff, Dallas, a neighborhood that raised him the hard way. Single mother, 2 jobs, older sister helping raise him, and Kenyon bouncing between 3 high schools in 4 years, trying to find direction, discipline, and stability. Sports became structure, a way out, a place to channel everything life was throwing at him. He wasn't a chosen one kid. He wasn't hyped or pushed or groomed. He was built, one day at a time. He ends up at Cincinnati, homesick at first, literally taking a bus back to Dallas before his family pushes him to return and finish. And when he does, he blossoms. Second team All-Conference USA. Team USA Gold, the most feared defender in college basketball. Consensus National Player of the Year, the engine of a #1 ranked team. And then, the breakthrough. 2000, the NBA Draft. Kenyon Martin becomes the #1 overall pick. A kid from Oak Cliff who fought his way through every obstacle now stands at the top of the basketball world. This is where we leave him, right before the rise begins. Beans. Meanwhile, in South Philadelphia, another story is forming. Dwight Grant, born 1974, but already becoming known in Philly circles as Beanie Sigel. Beans wasn't industry polished. He wasn't a product of marketing or cosigns. He was a product of South Philly grit. Before Rockefeller, before the truth, before the albums and the fame. He was already a name in the streets. Local ciphers, battles, neighborhood respect, a voice carrying the weight of real pain and real life. By the mid to late 1990s, his name is bubbling on corners, mixtapes, and small venues. A rapper with presence, a storyteller with scars, a talent the city recognized long before the industry did. Beans hadn't dropped an album yet, he hadn't signed yet, he hadn't gone national, but Philly knew. They could feel it. There was something different about him, a heaviness, an authenticity, a voice you couldn't ignore. And that sets the stage for what comes next. Because while Kenyon Martin is getting drafted #1 in 2000, Beanie Sigel is standing on the edge of his breakthrough, moments away from entering Rockefeller and becoming the heartbeat of a dynasty. This is where their "before the spotlight" ends. Two men built by struggle, shaped by environment, and ready for the rise that's about to hit. After the struggle, after the grind, after the years of building in the dark, the lights finally come on for both of them. And when the world is watching them for the first time, neither man flinches. This is the rise. Kenyon Martin enters the NBA in 2000 the same way he entered life, unafraid of the moment, October 31st, 2000, his debut. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, hunger in his eyes, impact in every movement. As a rookie, he averages 12 points, 7.4 boards, 1.7 blocks, and makes the all-rookie first team, finishing second behind Mike Miller. But his real rise comes in year 2. The New Jersey Nets go from last place to Eastern Conference champions. Jason Kidd arrives. The culture shifts. Defense becomes identity, and Kenyon Martin becomes the engine. 14.9 points, 5.3 boards, 1.7 blocks. But the stats don't tell the story. He set the tone. He set the edge. He set the temperature for the entire building. 2002. First finals appearance. The Lakers sweep them, but the league sees something for me. Then 2003 hits. Career high 21 rebounds against the Wizards. Back-to-back finals. Another deep playoff run. Another year of intensity, intimidation, and leadership. No more talk about potential. No more talk about project. He is now the fear factor of the Eastern Conference. By 2004, Kenyon averages 16.7 points, 9.5 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, and becomes an NBA All-Star. A kid from Oak Cliff who once took a bus home freshman year now stands shoulder to shoulder with the league's elite. Even the conflict with Alonzo Mourning, the heated moment that could have ended badly, becomes part of his growth. Kenyon apologizes. Zoe accepts. 2 warriors who understood each other. 2 men who came from fire finding respect through adversity. By 2004, Kenyon Martin is no longer rising. He is the rise. The league knows his name. And the enforcer era is officially born. Beanie Sigel, the Street King ascends, 1999 to 2004. While Kenyon is taking over the paint, Beanie Sigel is taking over the rock. Rockefeller signs him, and by 1999 to 2000, the city feels it first. A new voice, heavy and authentic, a street poet with scars in every bar. February 29th, 2000. The Truth. A top 5 debut. A statement album. The world hears what Philly already knew. Beans is the heartbeat of the rock. No filters, no gimmicks, just raw life. Then 2002 hits, and Beans steps into something bigger. He forms State Property, a Philadelphia movement built off loyalty, hunger, and steel. Freeway, Young Chris, Neve Buck, Petey Crack, Oskino, Emilio Sparks. Beans didn't just lead them, he raised them. The State Property film drops in 2002, and suddenly the entire culture sees it. Beanie isn't just a rapper, he's a general. The soundtrack becomes a hood classic. Rock the Mic goes nationwide, and Philly feels seen again. Then comes 2003, Chain Gang Volume 2, and the Young Guns smash Can't Stop Won't Stop, earning a Grammy nomination. The Rock is unstoppable. Jay is global. Kanye is rising. And Beanie Sigel is the street anchor keeping the label grounded in raw truth. But underneath the success, the cracks start forming. By 2004, the Rockefeller dynasty begins splitting apart. Jay becomes president of Def Jam. Dame Dash and Biggs break away. The empire shakes. Beanie stands in the middle. Loyalty tested, foundation shaken, and real-life consequences about to hit him hard. But not yet. Right here, in this moment, from 2000 to 2004, Beans is ascending, feared, respected, leading a movement that still echoes through Philly today. 2 rises, same energy. Kenyon Martin takes the Nets to the finals. Twice. Beanie Sigel takes Philly to the top of hip-hop. Twice. 2 men, 2 lanes, same intensity, same leadership style, same follow me or get out the way presence. This is where the rise ends, and the enforcer era begins. This is where everything goes left. Success doesn't protect you from reality. And in the mid-2000s, reality hit both of these men harder than any opponent ever could. Two careers rising fast, now crashing just as quickly. This is the fall. In 2004, after leading the Nets to back-to-back finals, Kenyon Martin gets traded to the Denver Nuggets. A fresh chapter, a team built to win, a city that wanted an enforcer. The first season looks promising. 70 games, 15.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, the same fire, the same edge. Then everything shifts. A problem in his knee. Swelling, pain, uncertainty. May 16th, 2005, microfracture surgery, one of the toughest procedures an athlete can face. The next season becomes a fight. 2005 to 2006. He misses 26 games with chronic knee tendinitis. The body that made him feared is now betraying him. Then the playoffs hit. Tension builds. Emotions erupt. Halftime of Game 2 versus the Clippers. Kenyon gets into a heated argument with head coach George Karl over playing time. It blows up, explodes, and he refuses to play the second half. The Nuggets suspend him indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team. The headlines are brutal. The media calls him a problem. Fans question his future. Off-season arrives, and somehow Kenyon and Karl sit down, talk, and patch it up. Two strong personalities facing each other like men, but the knee won't let him escape the storm. 2006 to 07. Pain returns. Swelling grows. Doctors deliver the worst news. He needs another microfracture surgery, this time on the right knee. November 15th, 2006. He goes under the knife again. 2 microfracture surgeries. 2 knees. No NBA player had ever returned from that, as if injuries weren't enough. 2006 versus Chicago. Kenyon and his entourage get into a verbal altercation with fans. The league fines him $15,000 and warns him to stop bringing his people courtside. The headlines pile up. The pressure mounts. The future gets blurry. But at the end of the storm, Kenyon tries to reset. 2007 to 08. He changes his number back to number 4. The number from Cincinnati. The number from before the chaos. The number from when he knew exactly who he was. But right here, between 2005 and 2007, Kenyon Martin faces the darkest chapter of his career. A battle with his body. A battle with perception. A battle with his own fire. The fall has begun. While Kenyon's knees crumble, Beanie Siegel's world collapses around him. By 2005, the Rockefeller dynasty, the empire he helped build, is falling apart. Jay-Z becomes president of Def Jam. Dame Dash and Biggs walk away, forming their own label. State property gets caught in the middle. Lines are drawn. Relationships fracture. And Beans, he's fighting a completely different war. Legal trouble circles him. A 1-year prison sentence is coming. He's recording his 3rd album, The Becoming, while preparing to turn himself in. The album becomes a masterpiece. Dark, vulnerable, heavy, with Feel It in the Air becoming a cultural moment. But behind the scenes, chaos. The Becoming doesn't even drop under Rockefeller. It's released by Dame Dash Music Group and Def Jam, a sign the dynasty is finished. Dash even publicly sees he's leaving Rockefeller to stand with Beans. The media turns it into a war. State property is split. Beans feels betrayed. When he comes home, he questions everything. Questions loyalty. Questions brotherhood. Questions the men he built with. He considers joining Dame Dash for real, but eventually steps back into Rockefeller to release The Solution in 2007. The music is strong, but something is broken. Trust, momentum, the empire that once lifted him is no longer there. Then comes the next wave. Borrowing money, tax charges, missed returns, Court dates, more lawyers, more pressure. By 2009, the Rockefeller/Def Jam chapter is closed. Beans goes independent. The industry moves without him. The machine is gone, and he's standing alone in the darkest stretch of his life. 2 falls, 1 truth. Kenyon Martin's body collapses. Beanie Siegel's world collapses. Injuries, surgery, suspensions, fines, labels split, legal battles, prison loyalty, questioned identity, shaking different lanes. Same weight, same crash, same breaking point. This is the chapter where both men hit the bottom, emotionally, physically, personally. But what makes their stories powerful is not the fall. It's what they do next. When men like Kenyon Martin and Beanie Sigel fall, they don't disappear. They don't crumble. They don't tap out. They rebuild. They reclaim. They resurface. This is the resurgence. Kenyon Martin, the veteran, fights back, 2011 to 2015. After surgeries, conflicts, suspensions, and doubt, most players fade into retirement quietly. Not Kenyon Martin. 2011, NBA lockout hits. His contract stalls. His options shrink. So he makes a move nobody expected. He signs with the Xinjiang Flying Tigers in China. Highest paid player in league history. New culture, new challenge, new perspective. But by December 2011, he comes home. Family first, heart over money. FIBA grants him early release. He returns to the NBA on February 3, 2012, and signs with the LA Clippers. Not as a star, not as the #1 pick, but as the vet who brings toughness, honesty, and accountability. The exact energy Lob City needed. Then 2013, a second act even better. He signs 10-day deals with the New York Knicks, reuniting with Jason Kidd. Injuries break the Knicks' front court, and Kmart steps in like the old warrior he always was. Rebounds, defense, effort, leadership. By March, they sign him for the season. By July, they re-sign him again. His presence mattered that much. Then comes Milwaukee, 2015. 2 10-day contracts, 1 final deal, 1 last game on February 2nd, 2015. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 final moment on the court. July 3rd, 2015. Kenyon Martin retires, not as the kid from Oak Cliff who got overlooked, but as a survivor who beat 2 microfracture surgeries, 5 rosters, and every doubt thrown his way. A man who found a second life in the league through grit, maturity, and heart. Beanie Sigel, the street legend, returns, 2009 to 2014. Where Kenyon fought his body, Beans fought the world. After the Rockefeller breakup, after the prison time, after label politics, after betrayals, Beans had 2 options: fade away or fight back. 2009. The Broad Street bully drops, independent, raw, no machine behind him, just hunger, scars, and Philly in every syllable. Then 2011, a false start. He retires for 2 weeks, comes back sharper, signs with G-Unit Philly, starts cooking again, starts rebuilding. 2012, announces Mac and Brad, a collab album with Scarface that shakes the underground. Signs a distribution deal with EMI, a fresh beginning, new direction, new support system. Drops his album This Time, a reflective grown man project that marks his official return to rap. But life still isn't done testing him. Tax charges, drug charges, guns, court dates, another prison sentence. Then comes the moment that could have ended everything. December 5th, 2014. Beanie Sigel is shot outside his New Jersey home, hit in the stomach, rushed into surgery. Doctors remove a lung just to save his life. He wakes up changed, scarred, breathing with half the capacity he used to have. But alive. And alive means purpose. Alive means a chance. Alive means the story isn't over. Beans survives the streets, survives the industry, survives prison, survives a bullet. He refuses to disappear, just like Kenyon Martin. 2 resurgence, 1 message. Kenyon Martin rebuilt his career when his body betrayed him. Beanie Sigel rebuilt his life when the world collapsed around him. Different arenas, different consequences, same spirit, same toughness, same refusal to quit, same hunger to rise from the rubble. 2 men who could have stayed down, but stood back up instead. That's not a comeback. That's resilience, reinvention, redemption. That's the resurgence. When the noise faded, both Kenyon Martin and Beanie Sigel stood on something most never get: authenticity. KMart became that OG every young player looked to for truth, from talking discipline with Denver's young core to mentoring his own son. Kenyon Martin Jr., now carving out his own lane in the league, he showed that legacy isn't about highlights. It's about passing the torch. There's a different kind of pride that comes from watching your child walk the same hardwood where you once made your name. It's full circle. From player to mentor to father to fan. And even off the court, that fire never left. You can still feel it every time he speaks. No filter, no script, no apologies. When Kmart pulls up on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, that same raw honesty that fueled him on the court still sparks debate and commands respect. He's proof that authenticity doesn't age. It evolves. Still passionate, still fearless, still himself. Beanie, same way. After health scares, after losses, after time, he's still that same voice of raw emotion. When he dropped the reunion and stepped back on stage, it wasn't about hits. It was about healing, about reconnecting with the fans, the brothers, and the city that raised him. The same state property crew that once fractured during the Rockefeller fallout eventually circled back. Old wounds got mended. Now they're touring together again, turning their history into something the next generation can learn from. No more ego, no more division. Just unity and growth. And Beanie didn't stop there. He switched lanes. Literally, opening his own food truck in Philly, serving the same neighborhoods that once fueled his rhymes. That's legacy in motion, turning pain into purpose, hustle into healing. The streets still quote him. The culture still respects him. Because real doesn't expire. In the end, they both prove something timeless. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to stand on something real. Kenyon Martin, Beanie Sigel, 2 warriors, 2 codes, different courts, same fight. And that's what Dare to Compare is all about. This has been Kenyon Martin and Beanie Sigel. 2 warriors, 2 survivors, 2 men who carried weight on their shoulders and pressure in their chest, and still found a way to rise again. If you rocked with this episode, hit that like button. If you can't watch, no worries. We got you covered. You can find us on Apple Podcast and Spotify at Dare to Compare TV, because next week, we're switching gears and stepping into a whole different energy. A new pairing, a new parallel, a new story rooted in toughness, pain, purpose, and legacy. On the next Dare to Compare TV, we bring you Jordan Poole and DaBaby. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Dare to Compare TV, where the booth meets the hardwood, where bars equal buckets, where we shoot from the logo and think beyond it. We'll see you next Friday.